Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Soft Girl Strong World. Today, I am recording from my home. So, very different dynamic, but here we are. I wanted to make like a short episode, and I will make parts of this because I do think that it's very important. So, I will make other parts of this. But I wanted to talk about something that was really relevant, like something that's happening in my life now. I am a very spiritual person. So this might be something new for people. And this might be something that people haven't heard of before, like things that I'm going to talk about. I won't touch base with everything, but I will try to touch base with as much as I can for this episode. But I really want to take you guys to the beginning. I really want to take you guys to how I became spiritual, how that became important for me. I really want to delve into the fact of religion, spirituality, how there's a big gap for me between the two. And maybe you can relate, maybe you can't relate. I mean, maybe this is something new for you. Maybe this is something that, hey, like, I want to delve into this, or like I want to learn. You know what I mean? Like, I think regardless of who you are, you're beautiful anyway. Okay. But I just want to share this because I think this should be talked about more. This type of things are not talked about enough. So we're going to talk about it. Okay. We're going to talk about it. Basically, I kind of want to go from the beginning. So when I grew up very Catholic. I grew up going to the church every Sunday with my family. Typical, traditional religion things. And when I grew up, I would go to church and kind of not understand what was happening because obviously I'm little and these things are kind of being embedded in me, right? Like from little. So I just would do it. I just would go just because I thought it was right. Like I would go to church every single Sunday. I did my communion, I did my confirmation, I did all of this because I was told to do it. So I did it. Fast forward to growing up. Oh man, hold on. I have a story of me going to the church. So in Catholicism, or in being Catholic, there are things that are kind of like you do confession. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but you do confession when you're a Catholic. And it's a little bit weird because being little, you don't really have much to confess about, right? Like there's not much to confess about when you're little. So I kind of didn't understand like what I had to confess about because there was nothing much to confess about. So I lied one time because I didn't have a confession for that day. And yeah, that was a quick little story. but fast forward to when I actually like started become spiritual. Obviously, like I had the choice when I grew up to go to the church every Sunday and kind of like, have my own decisions. I ultimately chose to not follow to be like Catholic. Like I would go to church sometimes, obviously, like with family and stuff, but in the long run, like I just didn't go to church. But I did pray because I was taught to pray, and I was taught that you have to do it. You have to pray like in order to be good, right? So that's what I did. I did that. Fast forward to like being an adult. Yeah. This is when things get pretty interesting for me. So I was 18 years old and I got kicked out of my mom's house. And me and her were just having some problems. Me and her never really had like a good relationship. So she told my dad that I had to leave, and my dad came and picked me up, and I just moved with him. I had to live with him ever since. So at the time. So I moved in with him when I was 18. And one day I was cleaning my room and I found it was witchcraft. I didn't know anything about witchcraft. Okay. So when I found this in my room, oh my God, like my soul automatically knew who did it. And it was like insane because I've never touched this stuff. Like I've never ever delved into these type of things because I just didn't think it was real like at the time. And I call me naive, maybe. Yeah, I was most likely like naive, right? Like I just, and at church, they don't really talk about that. Like, so I didn't really know what it was, but it was done to me. Oh man, I was absolutely hurt. Because this person who did it to me, like I thought we were cool. I thought like they felt bad for me, like for like, getting kicked out of my mom's house. So they wanted to get to know me more. Like they would make me open up a lot. Like we would drink a lot and they would ask me like a lot of questions and stuff. And I was so dumb. Like I just answered everything. I didn't think anything of it, honestly. Like I just didn't think anything of it. And the last thing that was in my head was that was going to happen. So I then became knowledgeable of these things. God kind of like was like, yeah, you're going to experience this because now you're going to be more aware of yourself, of your energy, of cleansing yourself, of allowing your space, because I would get really attached to people. So like, obviously, like when you're hurting and you're younger, I always wanted to be around people. Like I was like such a people's person, but now I knew that I needed to give myself space from certain people. Like I knew like I didn't want to trust everybody so easily, which I think it was great that this happened to me. It was like a bittersweet thing because I needed to be aware of it. Like a lot of people don't talk about these things. Why? They fucking exist. Like they're real. They exist in this world. And a lot of people just don't even want to delve into these things because they just don't want to talk about the unknown, right? Anyway, I think you have to, though. Like, you have to ask questions. You have to. Otherwise, I mean, God might do something like me, like what happened to me, and allowed it to happen and for me to just figure it out. Thank you, God. This is why I honestly love God a lot. But God taught me that you can't trust everyone, right? So I moved out, kind of had my own life after that. And I became very, very spiritual. Like I would pray a lot. I became like, I wanted to know more. I had like questions and I was curious, right? So I delved into tarot for a bit. I never did meditation is something that I'm doing now. But I would pray and kind of like open up my mind a little bit more, I would say. Like it hit like a pivotal point during COVID. When it was COVID time, I was in a relationship with like my ex-boyfriend. Yeah. So I was like in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend, and girl, this is a story for the books, okay? This might be something very new for you guys, but I think that it definitely needs to be talked about because I wish that someone told me what this was when I was going through it, and I had no clue what it was. I didn't think it was normal. I for sure didn't think it was normal. Like I was like, this is off and crazy and bizarre. Anyway, I was with my ex-boyfriend at this time, and basically I knew that something was always wrong with him. Every single time that we would drink, he would become very angry. His eyes would become like very dark. Like he just seemed very like not him was the way that I could say, very like negative. And he was extremely toxic. Like, girl, this is one for another episode. But we're going to talk about relationships in another episode. But yeah, I'll give you the logistics and the basics. He was very toxic. with him, I experienced the worst toxicity of my life. He made me toxic. So it was like, like when they say, like, when you're around like a negative person, it attracts to you. I think that's what was happening in that situation. But I just knew something was wrong with him. Like, I just knew every time he would drink, he would become a different person. And every time that we would argue, or like he would get angry, he would just become that same person, like when he would drink. And like his eyes would just become empty. Like it was actually like pretty scary. But when you love someone, you're just stupid, right? Like, you just ignore those things. So yeah, basically, yeah, I was a dumb bitch. I was a dumb bitch. Okay. Don't be me. Don't ignore the red flags. Anyway, me being me, knowing that something was wrong, there was a night that he slept over my house, and I kind of was like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of this shit. So here we go. And I like prayed to God, and I said, God, if this guy's not the one for me, show me. Show me tonight. Like, I want to see it. Girl, when I went to bed that night, my soul left my body. Swear down. My soul left my body. And I saw his soul, like his spirit. He was just chilling in my living room, and he was looking at me, but it was super like eerie. And like he was giving me like a smile, but like it was eerie. It was like evil. It was like it wasn't it was like that person that was like when he would get angry and when he would get like drunk, and like it was that, like I just knew it, like my soul, like I just knew that it was the dark shit in him. So I ignored it. I walked back to the room. I saw us both sleeping, and I started freaking out. Like, I needed to wake up. And I just started praying. Like, I just remember, like, I laid on myself and I was like, God, wake me up, wake me up, wake me up. And I woke up. At first, I wasn't waking up though, like until I said, God, wake me up. And he was like in front of my face, and he just was like, oh, I was slapping you and like you weren't waking up. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I looked at him and was like, we need to help you. I think I just saw like a negative spirit in you. And I was like, this is all making sense now. Like, this is why when you get angry, like everything just started like clicking in my head, like at that instinct. And he just was like, oh, like, you're crazy. It's just a dream. Like, he didn't believe me. Girl, listen to your dreams. Okay. Listen to your dreams. Moral of this story. Listen to your dreams, okay? If you ask God for something and God shows you, listen. Because I didn't listen. I stood with him for 2 more years after that. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I tried to save him. Like, I was like, we need to save you. I need to like take you to a church or like try to save him. Fucking dumb. Yeah. So it didn't happen. Like, we just became even more toxic. And yeah, fast forward to after we broke up. In between that time, from when we were together to when we broke up, my spirituality was on a 10. Like, I was having the most vivid dreams of like people who passed away. I had relatives who would come into my dream that had messages for people. And it was crazy. Like, I was like, God, like, let's pump the brakes. Like, I was like, I asked for something, but I wasn't ready like this, you know? And man, it was just coming like fire. It was just like one came and then the other one just grew and the other one just grew. Like, it was just like dream after dream. And I couldn't control it. And I astral projected like 3 more times after that. 3 more times after that. I couldn't bear like these dreams of of like the people who passed and me dreaming about these things. Like for me, it was like too much to bear. And I just was like, God, like, why me? Why is this happening to me? And then I just felt like, I don't know, maybe this is happening to me. Like my brother thinks I'm a medium, but like there's just, I'm not delving into that because I'm not mentally prepared for these things. But in terms of like my spirituality, like, I don't know, I think I may just have a gift or something. My family, like my grandma is a Dominican lady and she has always dreamt things growing up. So maybe I get it from her, but I don't know who I get it from. I don't know where I get it from. I just started getting super like enlightened. Like all of these things started coming to me. Like you start putting two and two together, because the thing with spirituality is that you ask questions. You want to know things. You get curious, right? Like I feel like religion kind of puts a block to that and kind of like, no, this is what you need to do because if you don't do it, like it's a sin. And that's how I kind of grew up too, right? Like I didn't delve into tarot and things like that. I didn't delve into like like those things were like people don't talk about that really because that's like a sin, right? But I remember that there was certain things that happened to me that I was like, nah, like God is giving me these answers. There was so many things that I would ask and I would get answered. I would pray and I would get answered. So I started to learn a lot. And that wasn't the last time witchcraft was done to me. I find out multiple other times that witchcraft has been done to me, but it becomes to a point where like you already know what you have to do and you already know like, okay, like I believe that when your spirit is super open and like when your mind is open, like things like that can't touch you because you're kind of like you already know, like you're already very aware of like these type of things, and you know when your spirit's not right, like you know when something's not right. The reason why I'm talking about this is because lately like there is someone that I know that is, I believe, is going through like some spiritual stuff, and I just had a really big like appreciation towards life because I knew that in this I was God was giving me like the guidance to help this friend because I had already went through these things, right? Like I had already experienced this. I had already went through this. So it was kind of like God was giving me the green light to, hey, this person needs your help. Like you need to help them. I also just appreciated God, right? Because I feel like I have gained such an appreciation with God, and my relationship with God is absolutely beautiful. I have leaned into meditating recently, and during these meditations, like I've gotten some downloads sometimes, right? And I think it's so important to go within yourself. Like I think it's so important to not forget about you. And when you feel like something's wrong, like stop for a minute and just go within yourself and find that answer within yourself, because your soul already has the answers. You just got to listen to it. And when you listen to it, all of those answers are going to be unlocked because you have it. You are one with God. And it's that relationship that you have to develop. And once you develop that relationship, oh my gosh, everything just becomes, you start understanding that the highest vibration is love. And you start understanding that, moving with love and moving with peace and surrounding yourself with people who have the same energy as you and surrounding yourself with people who understand you to that level, man, you just become more enlightened and life just becomes easier and happier. And I mean, we're all going to go through shit, right? Like that's life. But I think that's the point of spirituality. You have a journey in spirituality. And in that journey, it brings you to find God. I wasn't going to be spiritual. Like I was forced to find this. Like I was pushed to the wall. I had nothing else. My life was going through like the worst times. And I was pushed to the wall where I was like, God, show me. You're in my life. You're real. Like, I'm looking for you now. You know, like, this isn't a church telling me what to do, or like, this isn't my family telling me what to do. Like, I'm looking for you. And once I did that, it was insane. I unlocked something with God that I could never close. Like, never, never. And I'm going to tell you guys something else. I never used to really like believe in Jesus, and I never, not that I didn't believe, but like I never prayed to Jesus, you know, like I always prayed to like God and stuff. And another factor that has like made me want to be very spiritual, like kind of has pushed me to be very spiritual, is because I dreamed of Jesus Christ one day. Like, I seriously saw Jesus Christ in my dream. And this was one of those nights where I asked if I'm doing the right thing. And at this time, I was pregnant and I was going to go through an abortion, which I did go through. But before I went through it, I wanted to know. I wanted to know if this was the right thing, because in me, morally, like, I couldn't do it. Like, I just knew, I just felt like it was wrong. And at the time, like, my circumstances were terrible. Like, I just couldn't do it. And Jesus came into my dream. And Jesus showed me. And in the dream, it was beautiful and it was peaceful and it was love. It was like I just felt love. And he showed me what I was having, like the gender. And I never saw his face, but I saw him. Like, he spoke to me like through my mind. I can't even describe it to you guys. Like, it was insane. Like, he was talking to me like telepathically. And it was like in the dream, I was in this field full of like flowers, and it was absolutely beautiful. Like, I wasn't scared at all. I just felt at peace. And it's hard to talk about this. But this is something that has happened to me because I have chose to ask the questions. I want to see these things. I want this relationship with God. And look, after that happened, I like, oh my gosh, I prayed so hard for forgiveness. Like, I would never, ever do that again. I never would do that again. Because I'm a big believer that, like, you know, a child is a blessing. And there's women out there that can't even get pregnant. And I just felt selfish. Oh my gosh, I felt so selfish. Like, I felt like I was ruining something that God was giving me. I was ruining that. Honestly, it was like the worst feeling, because I did feel very selfish. I did feel like it was really wrong. I did feel like I shouldn't have done that. Like, morally, it was just, you just don't do things like that. So yeah, I prayed my ass off for forgiveness after that. And I definitely did not want something like that to ever happen again. And it would just not happen again. But I do believe that God forgives. And I do believe that God allows us to have free will and allows us to choose what path we want to take. Like, I think when you pray from your heart and you really are sorry, then I do think that God forgives, because that's just the way of life, right? Like, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. And it's okay to admit to your mistakes too, because you're allowing other people to understand that this is okay. Like, we're not meant to be perfect. We're human beings. We fuck up. And that was one of my fuck ups. So yeah, fast forward from that. I think like after that happened, I became closer to God in a very loving way. Like, I started understanding the way of like my life and how it was going, and the way that it would go. Like, I remember when I came even here to Australia, like, I had so many questions. Like I just wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled, and I wasn't going within though. Like I was just forgetting, because sometimes you forget. Like sometimes you forget what God does for you. That things are happening for you. That all of this is meant to happen in your life. Like it's already written for you. I sometimes forget to go within, and lately I have been feeling like this weird thing with like wanting to read the Bible, just because I kind of want to educate myself and kind of just see what's in there, because my spirituality is like my journey, right? Like every time I tell people that I believe in God and I'm really big on God and I'm very pro God, everyone's like, oh, like what religion are you, and blah blah blah. But like I don't really want to talk about religion because I'm not religious, and I know that when you talk about religion to other people who are religious, it can sometimes like go into like a bad direction, and it can sometimes like lead to like judgment and like, because they're we kind of both have different opinions, but some people are not open to other people's opinions, even though like I'll accept you regardless. I accept who you are anyway, from whatever religion you come from. I just know that some people are not okay with that. So I just prefer like not to, like, I just tell people like I'm just spiritual, I'm not religious. And then it becomes a little bit awkward, because then it's like, okay, okay, right? Like they're kind of just like side-eyeing you, like, okay. But I feel like a lot of people are becoming spiritual nowadays, and I love it. Like I absolutely love it. I honestly feel like it's it's people wanting to have depth in their life. They want to understand, they want to have clarity, they want to have they want to have questions answered. They want to go within themselves. They're starting to understand, like people are really starting to understand that God is within you. We're not worshiping something, right? Like we do like pray to God and stuff like that, but we're not worshiping like certain things. Like we're understanding the evolution of life and the evolution of our knowledge and how it's given to us and how we're supposed to give it to other people, because we are supposed to give it to other people too. Some of us are more gifted than others, and some people can really heal people through their words, through their actions, through the things that they do. I think that's what we're here for. I think we're definitely here to help other people, heal other people in any way possible, and spread love and show that we can love unconditionally with one another and not judge, right? With religion, it gets sticky for me. Like I just think like religion is very divided. Like I think religion divides a lot of people, and you kind of have to follow one thing and not really go within yourself. Like this doesn't mean everyone in the religion is like negative or bad or like divided, Like I'm talking like, you guys know who I'm talking about. But I honestly feel like religion kind of breaks people up into like groups, and I honestly don't feel like that's the point of God and that's the point of love. Like I feel like we should all like come together regardless of your religion, regardless of your race, regardless of your gender, regardless of whatever it is that you are in life. Because that's real love. That is real love, like unconditionally. That's me accepting you without, I don't care what you are, who you are, like you're a good person and you're great and you make my body feel amazing, you make my soul feel great, then I'm 100% in it. Like, why not? And that's how it should be. And these things are not talked about. Like, I just feel like people don't talk about these things because they're just scared of like, or of judgment, and I get it. Like, I used to be really scared too. I know my parents for sure go to church every Sunday, and like I go into conversations with my parents about this, like my spirituality and stuff. My dad always tells me like everything that you go through is in the Bible. Everything that you go through is there. Like you just have to look, and I'm like, oh, like I know. And now I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of want to read it now, right? Like I actually want to get the book. I've downloaded the app multiple times. It just never worked. I just think when you have an app, it's just not the same. So I kind of want to get the book, but I do know that every single time that we would talk, I'm kind of listening to him. It's interesting to hear two different perspectives on things because I'm open-minded in that sense. I would hear you and I'm not going to tell you like, no, this is wrong. Like, no, everyone's entitled to be who they are. Everybody's entitled for that. But what I don't like is the judgment. I don't like the judgment. That's when I start to get this is why I don't want to talk about this, because I think everyone is entitled to feel differently, but I'm open to having these conversations. And he's always like preaching to me and telling me about things about, like Jesus and stuff like that. And I have experienced that love like firsthand. Like Jesus literally came to me. So when he talks about these things, it's kind of like, wow, it's interesting to hear about it. So I kind of want to read about it just to see if it's true. But I think that everyone should stay true to who they are. Like, I think that everyone should listen to their soul. Everyone should find those answers that they're looking for within themselves. If you're going through something and you're feeling down and you're feeling like you don't understand why you're feeling like this, or you're like, like this ain't me, go within. Pray, find those answers, because like I said, you already got it. You literally already got it. And meditation has helped me a lot. I encourage meditation. I don't do it as often as I would like to, but I'm a learning progress. I'm getting there and I'm trying to learn. But I feel like once you start doing these things, you just start understanding that we are meant to go through pain. We are meant to go through heartbreak. We are meant to go through grief. We are meant to go through like terrible things in life sometimes, because it's what brings us to our spirituality. It's what brings us to finding God. It's what brings us to understanding why this happened to you. Because I think even in the bad things and the pain, there's still beautiful things that come out of that. I mean, I will say like, grief and heartbreak are very similar feelings. Obviously, you experience them in different ways, but there are feelings that break you. They break you. They break your soul. They break your spirit. They break who you are. You forget about yourself for a while. And you start questioning, why did this happen to me? Why did this occur? What did I do to deserve this? People start blaming themselves. And you shouldn't do that. Like, you can't blame yourself. You can't blame yourself for something you can't control. It was done for you for a purpose. And maybe you may not see that purpose now, but trust me, you will understand it later. Maybe it was to make you a stronger person. Maybe it was to make you a parent, a strong parent to a child that you don't have yet, that was coming, or maybe it was to teach your children something, or I don't know. There's so many reasons. I'm not God. I can't tell you. But I do know for certain that there are reasons why people go through the things that they go through. And I know that in my life, it has only made me stronger. It has only made me better. It has made me understand boundaries. It has made me understand that, yeah, I love you, but I don't need to be around you. Okay? It has made me understand that even with family that has done things to you, I think it's important to create that space. If anyone in your life is being negative, or if anyone is taunting on your spirit, on your soul, like, it's okay to have that space. It's okay to have that space from them. And I know that with family, it hurts even more. Like, that's a heartbreak that you can't describe. Like, and I know it because I've been through it. Like, I've been through family heartbreak, and it's something that even now, I'm going to be 30 and I'm still like, fuck, there's just some things that it's hard for me to get over, but I'm trying. Like, and none of us are perfect, right? Like that's the point. You have to learn to try, and you have to want to get over these things. You have to put in the work for it. And I'm trying my best. Like I'm trying my absolute best. The younger me would be so proud of who I'm becoming. Oh God, hold on. The younger me would be honestly so proud of who I'm becoming. That younger me was hurt. That younger me was like, didn't have a choice, you know? That teenage me was like, didn't understand why people didn't understand my emotions, my why I had to be the way that I was. And when you find God, you go through all of these revelations. You find all the answers to, okay, this is why this is happening, or if it's still happening, right? He gives it to you. Yeah. No one can ever sway my mind the other way. Like, no one can ever tell me God doesn't exist. I will not agree with you, but hey, you are who you are, right? But you're not going to ever change my opinion on that. Okay? But we could talk about it. Like, if you, you know, like I'm open to hearing people out. Like, what's your reasoning? What's your reasoning to that? Because no one can sway me anywhere else. Like I have been through too much. I've seen too much. I've been and literally dreamt. Like I've literally felt things that, like, how could you tell me otherwise? Come on now. So I kind of believe in myself, and I believe that my mind is strong enough to read the Bible because I've always been scared. I've never told anyone this. I think I've been holding off on reading the Bible for so long because I don't want a perception of that to change what I've learned through life, what God has shown me through my life. I don't want my perspective to change. I don't want to be influenced through a Bible. But I think that at this time in my life where I think my mind is pretty solid, my soul and my heart is pretty solid, and I think I've understood that I'm one with God. So I don't think it could sway me anyway else. But I do want to read it. I do want to read it to educate myself and to just see what my dad's talking about. Well, not just him, but like, you know, I kind of just want to see. I'm like a little bit curious, like, which I think is okay. I think it's okay to be curious. I wanted to talk about that today because I feel like maybe someone needs to hear that, you know, if you're not feeling yourself, and if you don't know which direction to go in, if you don't know if you believe in God, if you don't know, maybe want to delve into religion, or you want to delve into spirituality and you don't know where to go through, or you feel the same way as me where, you know, there's a big air bubble in between religion and spirituality. Like it's not something that comes together. It's something that's completely separate. I think if you believe in yourself, you believe in God because God is within all of us. I think if you have these feelings, then question it. Question it. Go within yourself. Pray. Try to find the answers. Like try to find ways and understand like why you're feeling like this, or why you have these curiosities. Because I'm so thankful that I did. I'm so thankful that I delved into that. I'm so thankful that I had the questions. And I encourage you to go within yourself and get those questions answered. And maybe if you're someone who's angry, right? Maybe if you're someone who's just an angry individual, or just like things just tick you off really fast. Like I know that was my problem. And it's something I'm working on. But I used to be really angry, and I realized that your environment is really, really important. Like the people you put around you is really important because it just makes you that person. And you don't want that. You want to live with love. You want to live like happy, right? So I encourage that if you do have these feelings, go within. Go within yourself and listen. Listen to what your soul is telling you. Listen to what God is telling you. If you have these intuitions, trust me, it's for a purpose. Okay? Please listen to it. I will leave it there. And we will delve into this in another episode because there are so many things that I could talk about with spirituality. It excites me. It really does. Like, I am absolutely super, super, super grateful that God has shown me this and has put things in my life. And I have met beautiful people along the way. Once I start releasing these negative feelings that I had, God is constantly showing me that I'm never alone. And that is such a beautiful feeling. Like, it is such a fulfilling feeling. Because every day that I pray, I talk to God when I pray. And I just talk. Like, he's my friend. There's no right way to pray. There's no wrong way to pray. You just talk, right? And I tell God everything. I let it all out. I let it all out. My anger, what I don't understand, what I'm trying to understand. I let it all out. And every single time I get my answer and I get unconditional love. Because God has shown me what real unconditional love is. And I'm super grateful for that. I wish that everyone can experience this type of love. I do. It warms your heart. It makes you like love more. It makes you like, I don't know, like it's put me into this era that I'm in right now. So like, yeah, girl, do it. Find God, love yourself, love others around you, love who are good to you, love the ones that treat you right, love the ones that God has brought into your path. Love on them. But I will leave it there. And I will see you on the next video. And don't forget to comment, like, share, and definitely message me. Or if you would like, you can message me below. All of the details are in my description box. If you ever need someone to talk to, hit your girl up. I'm here for you. Bye. And I encourage you to send me your stories.